So Micah Parsons delivered everything and more last season to the Cowboys. And very obviously, he, along with Diggs, form a devastating 1-2 combination of young, hungry, athletic guys on defense that should anchor that D for a long time. But I got to say, when Jim Rome asked Micah Parsons about Cowboys hate, I heard Micah's answer and I just rolled my eyes because it is so perfect and it's so disappointing. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, exist in a world where they know there's a lot of people that root against them. The Cowboys are fun to root against. The Cowboys are big. They have a huge brand. They're incredibly valuable. They're on national TV all the time. And they've got an owner that can't keep his foot out of his mouth, so it's just perfect to root against. And they always lose, so it's fun. You know if you're rooting against the Cowboys, ultimately, you'll be happy. It's great. If you root against the Patriots during the Tom Brady era, you never knew when they were going to shove it right up your butt. There was only a handful of times you could really feel happy at the end of the year because 6 of those times they held the Vince Lombardi trophy. For the Cowboys, you could root against them and you are guaranteed to always end the season happy because they will never get to a Super Bowl. So here was Jim asking Micah Parsons about why the team has so many people that root against them.
It's weird about the Cowboys. Like, people actively want you to lose. Like, they're not focused on their team winning. It almost means as much to them if you lose as if their team wins.
Yeah.
Am I overstating that, or is that accurate?
That's extremely accurate. It's
what do you
sick.
make of that?
It's sick. These people are sick. These Cowboys haters are sick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, look, haters going to hate. We know this. Everybody's going to, not everybody, but people will hate. Why do you think they hate the Cowboys, though?
They're jealous. They're envy that their team has, regardless of what happened, we're still a top organization, and people hate it. They hate it. They want their team to be the Cowboys so bad.
Wrong! You couldn't be more wrong, actually, Micah Parsons. Since 1995, the Dallas Cowboys have the same amount of Super Bowl appearances as the Cleveland Browns. Since 1995, the Dallas Cowboys have the same amount of NFC Championship game appearances as the Detroit Lions. Since 1995, the Cincinnati Bengals have been to one more Super Bowl than the Dallas Cowboys. Same with the Arizona Cardinals. In fact, since 1995, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been to 3 times as many AFC Championship games as the Cowboys have been to NFC Championship games. Micah, we're not jealous of the Cowboys. And the moment you start going, we're still a top elite organization. And it's too bad because Micah's a young, impressionable guy who wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's a great player, but he's already been poisoned by the Cowboys culture. And it's why the Cowboys don't win and will never win. There it is, right there in a nutshell. Jim does a great job drawing this out of Micah. But Micah Parsons thinks we're so great, which is why you guys hate us. You must hate us because we're so great and haters hate great. No, that's not it at all. You're not great. That's what makes this fun. It's really fun to root against the Cowboys because, A, they used to be great, and now they're not. And B, they still think they are. And that right there is why the Cowboys are the Cowboys. It's the Jerry Jones syndrome. It's Jerry Jones is going to hold court. He's going to make all those reporters laugh. He's going to, when Sunday Night Football comes into town, Jerry's going to take Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. He's going to take Bucket Aikman or Nance and Romo. He's going to take them to his brand new stadium and show them all the bells and whistles behind the scenes. Look at this. Look at the marble countertops. Look at this huge television screen. Look at this bar with high-end liquor. Have the best steak in the world. Why don't you come by our team offices? Let's go to the Star. Look at this state-of-the-art facility. Come to the Star. Look at this. And he assumes, because everybody, oh, yeah, Jerry, yeah, that's really nice. This is really great. He assumes because he can wine and dine and because all of the aesthetics are beautiful and because he can spend the money on the beautification of his facilities that he's elite, that they are elite. And then when the Cowboys draft players or sign free agents, of course, they wine and dine those guys as well. You're a Cowboy now. You're a Cowboy now. You're a Cowboy. They've got the Roger Staubach helmet of the team facility, and they've got the 5 Super Bowl trophies and the life-size portrait of Tom Landry and all of those banners and America's team label and, oh, you're a Cowboy now, you're a Cowboy now, you're a Cowboy now. And there is this delusion of modern greatness. Tony Romo and Dak Prescott ain't Troy Aikman and ain't Roger Staubach. And Ezekiel Elliott, he ain't Emmitt Smith or Tony Dorsett. And Micah Parsons ain't Randy White or Bob Lilly. And yet those guys think they are. And those guys think it's been bestowed upon them. And Jerry just assumes it's been bestowed upon you. Well, the reason the Dallas Cowboys are on TV all the time in prime time is not because of their win-loss record. It's because so many people watch their games. There's tons of Cowboys fans, of course, in Texas, but also nationally because they were indoctrinated into the Cowboys when they were really good in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. There are Cowboys fans in every city. There were Cowboys fans in my high school in New York. There's Cowboys fans in Milwaukee. There's Cowboys fans in Jacksonville. There's Cowboys fans in San Francisco. There's Cowboys fans everywhere. You cannot escape it because they were great in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. The problem is the modern Cowboys live on those vestiges of popularity. They go to D.C. to play Washington, and there's Cowboys fans in the building. And they go to Minnesota to play the Vikings, and there's Cowboys fans in the building. And they're on TV all the time. And the big broadcasts carry them. And they don't realize it's not because of what they are now. Because what they are now, I don't know, the Broncos? No, they're not even the Broncos. At least the Broncos went to 2 Super Bowls and won a championship. What are they? The Dolphins? I mean, they're probably closer to the Dolphins than they are anything else. The Dolphins were great in the 70s and 80s. They built up a good fan base nationally. They had the Super Bowl championships back in the 70s. And now they're nothing. They're irrelevant in so many ways. They're just another team. And the Cowboys are exactly that, except their success was bigger than the Dolphins. Their national brand is bigger than the Dolphins. And their owner has been more splashy and notable than the Dolphins. I mean, I hate to break it to Micah Parsons. You're just the NFC Dolphins. It ain't because you're such an elite organization or so great, or else you would be farther than you are every year in the playoffs. This year, once again, one and done. How many times are the Cowboys one and done? And I sat there and I listened to Jim's interview with Micah, which was so good, and I just cringed, and I said, they got another one. They poisoned another brain. Just like early in the season when Amari Cooper is saying, we're talking thinking Super Bowl. Just like Jerry Jones was saying, I couldn't fathom losing to the Broncos. That wasn't even a possibility. And just like another one-and-done exit, nobody in that organization wants to understand what the reality is. You haven't done crap in 30 years. Nothing. You haven't done anything. Haven't done any. Again, since the Cowboys were in the last NFC Championship game, the Jaguars have been to 3 AFC title games. Nobody in Jacksonville goes, man, people just hate us because we're an elite organization. But here's Micah Parsons after 1 year. That's why people hate us. You need to realize nothing will ever change, Micah, in the organization until none of you think that way. None of you can think that way, that we're special. That's why people don't like us. We're special. They're jealous of us. It's just so delusional. It's so delusional. Can you play this clip for me one more time here, Billy Jock alone on the Wheels of Steel? I want to play, listen to Jim ask Micah this question and just think about saying this for a team that has been to as many NFC Championship games as the Lions have over the last 30 years.
It's weird about the Cowboys. Like, people actively want you to lose. Like, they're not focused on their team winning. It almost means as much to them if you lose as if their team wins.
Yeah.
Am I overstating that, or is that accurate?
That's extremely accurate. It's
what do you
sick.
make of that?
It's sick. These people are sick. These Cowboys haters are sick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, look, haters going to hate. We know this. Everybody's going to, not everybody, but people will hate. Why do you think they hate the Cowboys, though?
They're jealous. They're envy that their team has, regardless of what happened, we're still a top organization, and people hate it. They hate it. They want their team to be the Cowboys so bad.
Who would switch right now with the last 30 years of Cowboys football? The Browns, the Lions. Merez, help me out here.
Not many.
Who would switch right now with the last 30 years after the Super Bowls of the 90s? So let's start at 95. Who would switch? The Browns?
The Browns, yes. But again, their one playoff win last year, they're still as relevant. But yeah, the Browns.
The Lions would take going into the playoffs a couple of times over the last 25 years.
Even the Jets wouldn't, because they made a couple AFC title games.
Yeah, right. The Jets in that span have made 3 AFC championship games. So who are the teams that would switch being with the Cowboys?
Right. The Bills had that long drought since the Music City Miracle of never making the playoffs. They've not only broken that, they now have gotten to an AFC title game, so you can't even say them. And they went through an era where they for sure would have changed.
And you absolutely would rather be a Bills fan today than a Cowboys fan.
Absolutely you would.
So think about this. Micah Parsons is talking about people would switch right now. They want to be Cowboys. They want to be Cowboys fans. They would switch their team. The Lions and the Browns, that's the list.
The Jaguars made an AFC title game recently.
3 of them since 95. 3 of them. Jaguars fans wouldn't trade for the last 30 years of the Cowboys. They had 3 AFC championship games. It's crazy that the Cowboys feel this way. It's insane. It's total delusion. Nobody wants to be you. We laugh at you. We laugh all day long. Now, do you have incredible attention? Sure. Notoriety? Yes. Fans in every city? No question about it. But that's all built on before the last 25 years. Nobody wants to be the Cowboys. They're a joke. They're a punchline. They come into every season with Super Bowl aspirations and always flame out. And man, you're like, whoa, that's how you guys all think. You want to be us. You would switch right now with us. No, we wouldn't. No. Guess what? In the division alone, the Giants have 2 Super Bowls and 3 Super Bowl appearances. The Eagles have 2 Super Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl championship. And your only tie goes to the runner is with Washington, who has had 20 years of the most incompetent owner in the sport, and they still almost tie you for most recent Super Bowl championship. They had 91, you had 95. It's pretty close, neck and neck, between Washington and Dallas.
And also, the reason people hate the Cowboys isn't jealousy. It's because every market has Cowboy fans that are living in their city, and they are annoying to the point that they act and talk like the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl every single year.
Like
and
Micah Parsons.
Right. That's it. Like when you talk, that's the we all know that Cowboy fan. Wherever you're listening in America, you know that Cowboy fan, and that's the reason you hate the Cowboys and you root against them, because they are insufferable with no money in the bank in the last 20 years to act that way.
It's a joke. Stephen A. now has this ongoing bit where he basically just lights up a cigar, puts on a cowboy hat, and starts laughing when they lose. And it's a fun bit because he gets into it and he's a character. But it's the safest bit in sports media. He'll never be wrong. You just have to wait for them to lose. They'll never win a Super Bowl and make him look like a clown. It'll never happen. It's the safest bet in sports. If you root against the Cowboys, eventually you get to laugh like a hyena. It's the way that it goes. You'll never be wrong.